Hello, guys. Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. And I want to thank everyone for your contribution to the channel. Please feel free to hit the like button so that we can get this channel to grow and that the messages can get out to other people. So, guys, I just thought about this. The message is you got people that didn't invest in you because you didn't meet their standards. So I want to talk a little bit about this. And before I go into detail, we all know that everyone has a set of standards for themselves. Even if you feel like their standards are low or whatever, high, too low, whatever, everybody has their own standards. So there's going to be times where people didn't meet your standards. There's going to be times where you didn't meet a lot of people's standards. And that's okay. That's okay. But then we got these people where you didn't meet their standards and then they wanted to slander. They wanted to tarnish the good about you, the good, the little good that they thought, was inside of you. They wanted to even tarnish that just because you didn't meet their standards. So these are the folks that I'm talking about. These people that were embarrassed by you. There's a lot of people that you may have come into contact with, and we're going to talk about people that you've been raised around, people that you were in friendships with, people that you have even involved yourself with intimately. These are people that may have been embarrassed by you. It could have been something that you say, it could have been the way you dressed, it could be any number of things that people felt like should have been different about you, and so they were embarrassed by you. Keep in mind, these people that are embarrassed or were embarrassed about you, they had no type of help for you. If they didn't like something or something like that, they didn't offer you any help. And then you got the folks that did may have offered you some help, but then they wanted to slander you and tell everybody how they had to help you. And if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be nothing. So you got those people as well. But overall, these people were embarrassed about you. You didn't meet their standards. They feel like maybe the standard for the family should be a one way. Maybe there could even be possibly different belief systems. I know that a lot of the times that can cause a big rift into families, is even your political, you know, who you choose, who you don't choose. That can cause rifts into division into the families. And so these are people that were embarrassed. It doesn't matter what the reasoning was, they are embarrassed about you. I want to go a step deeper and say that these are the same people that in their mind may have thought, well, if I dress like that, or if I said this or that, people will be talking about me. If I look like this, people will be talking about me. If I drove this, people will be talking about me. If I, a number of things, if I dated this person, people will be talking about me. So these same people that were embarrassed about you are the same people that's so worried about what other people say. These are the same people that cannot live their lives without making decisions based on what such and such said, based on the opinion of other people, based on if they're going to get embarrassed if because somebody else don't like what they're doing, or so these are the same people that a lot of the times they have a hard time living in their truths. They're so busy keeping up with the Joneses. Some of these people wanted you hidden. So not only did they know that you had the potential to meet their expectations, but they seen so much more in you than they seen in their own selves. These will still be the same people that didn't invest in you. instead of investing in you, these are the same people that sort of wanted you to stay hidden. They would deal with you in spare moments, maybe when other people weren't around. These are the people that typically feed off of you. I'm getting the vision of when some back in the day they used to have children that were born disabled, and unfortunately they would hide these children away in attics and different rooms, the basements, and to where they were embarrassed about them, so that they would just keep them hidden from the family and the visitors that came over. So I don't know if this has happened to somebody actually in real life. And if so, I my apologies, because I am getting the energy of someone that may have went through a lot of trauma just based on the fact that the family was embarrassed about you, and they never brought you out. They never brought you over people. They never showed you off. They never even acknowledged you, especially around other people. These are the energy vampires that will keep feeding on your energy. A lot of the people that they feel like they kept you hidden are people that are chosen, that are gifted, that are full of light. They would sit back and feed off of your energy, use the light about you while they keep you hidden away, while they keep you tucked away as if you don't matter. So these are typically the people that feed off of good energy, good sources, and rule you out as unimportant. You guys could be the black sheep. So a lot of the times the black sheep is the one that knows the family secrets, knows different truths and things like that, and may not say, or at times may say, what needs to be said, what others are scared to say, especially in these family dynamics, these friendship dynamics. Um, People will not like you, or you will not meet their standards, because they want somebody that's going to fake the phone. They don't want somebody that's going around telling the family truths. They don't want you to live in your truth. They got on 1,000 masks. They spent their whole life developing different masks to wear for different people. Why would they want you, a person that's not wearing a mask, to go around the family, to go around the friend group, to go out here in this world and tell truths? You are a dangerous person to these people that feel like you didn't meet their standards. You have the capability of shutting down a whole fake ass empire. So, of course, you didn't meet their standards. You're not fake enough. Okay. And we got didn't see your value. So a lot of these people that chose to not invest in you, you didn't meet their standards. They didn't see your value. They feel like, what can they gain from you? They didn't see how beneficial you are. They felt like you were useless. They couldn't use you for what they wanted. Um, they couldn't have bragging rights on you. They felt like your accomplishments weren't big enough for them to go around and say, hey, this is my child, look at them. Hey, this is my lover, look at them. Hey, look, this is my friend, look what they got going on. They felt like your accomplishments were so small that, or even if you had big accomplishments, they diminished them or made them feel so small, made you feel so small, and made you feel unimportant. They did not want to invest in you. They may want somebody that is not on their level, that's beneath them. And so you may have surpassed their standards because they wanted friends, they wanted family to all be worshiping them and looking up to them as the head honcho, the HBIC, the HNIC in the family. A lot of these people that did not invest in you, you didn't meet their standards, are people that are very judgmental. These people base their judgments on you, or the reason they didn't want to invest in you, on their own insecurities. A lot of these people got insecurities that they've never told anybody, but the way that they did you, the way that they treated you, or the lack thereof, shows that there's something within themselves that is insecure about you. A lot of us, we may have wanted people to invest in us, but it got to a point where we knew that we had to invest in ourselves. You can't wait for somebody else to believe in you. You have to first believe in yourself. So it all played out for the good. It worked out for the good for those that are called by the Most High. A lot of these people judge you based on their lack of self-love. How are they going to see any value in you? How are they going to give you love if they don't first love themselves? If their definition of love is just whatever the case may be, whatever they feel like it is, monetary, or if it's you know, taking a lot of trips or getting whatever they feel like love is, they lack that. And so they're not going to be able to truly see your worth. They are, of course, they're not going to invest in you. And then there's people that won't invest in you because they didn't invest in themselves. You can't expect them to invest in you if they haven't invested in themselves meaning to do the healing work, to work on their shadow aspects. You cannot expect them to invest in you. There are also people that judge you based on their own traumatic experiences. They feel like maybe that you just don't meet what their standards, you know. It may be something that happened in their childhood or something that they have experienced that has caused them to look at you as if you're not worth investing in. A lot of these people are bandwagon jumpers. They are good as long as you doing good. And when you're not doing good, they feel like, oh no, they ain't up to par. You know, they ain't on my level. You know, they ain't gonna do nothing. You know, they not worth the time, energy, or effort. So these are the people that typically come around when you're doing good, and when you're not doing good, they're nowhere to be found. And in fact, these are the same people that will talk about you and kick you when you are down. And they will say that you didn't meet their standards. So it's cool that you didn't meet their standards, but you didn't meet their standards. And so now they're going to stomp on you. Now they're going to kick you. Now they're going to throw dirt on you just because you didn't meet their standards. Yeah. Not only did you meet their standards, but you surpassed them. If you aren't there yet, you are going towards this. These are going to be these people that come out of the woodwork, come out of nowhere. A lot of these people you ain't even talk to. Some of these people you talk to every day and you still don't meet their standards. And guess what? Make them stand on business. That same energy that they had for you when they felt like you wasn't meeting their standards, make them stand on that same energy that they felt about you. Make them stand on how they was talking about you, how they was doing you, how they was treating you, how they was neglecting you, how they was embarrassed about you. Make them stand on that when they feel like you know, you're doing good now, or you surpassed what they thought that you could do. Tell them people, don't brag about you now. Now that they see you good, now that they see you in your element, now that they see that you're blooming. Some of you guys late bloomers. So it's crazy how people will put you on this time, how the world will put you on this time scale. You should have this by this age. You should do this at this age. You should be here at this age. But there's people that all move at different speeds. There's a group of people they call late bloomers for a reason. So at the end of the day, these are the people that's not going to fall into this little time crunch or time span that people feel like you should fall in line with. They didn't take an account of that. Um, they were too busy comparing you to where they was at the same age that you are now, or what such and such has at the same age that you are now, or what they don't have. It's so many different things, but regardless. You didn't meet their standards. So make them stand on that. They didn't anticipate your glow up. So a lot of them ruled you out. Oh, you this age and you ain't did this yet. You ain't gonna be nothing. Oh, you think you got it going on, but X, Y, and Z. These people are the same people that was sitting back talking about you, telling everything about you, all your mistakes. Notice they don't never tell your accomplishments. These are the people that are remembering every single mistake that you ever made, everything that you've done wrong, what you should have did, the work job you should have stayed at, what person you should have stayed with, what mindset you should have had, this, and that, what you should have did. You shouldn't have had this. You shouldn't have did that. These are the same people that did not anticipate your glow up. They thought you were going to be nothing. They didn't see it for you. They couldn't see you outside of what they seen with their two eyes. That's because God didn't give them a vision for your life. God didn't tell them where you was going to be. And so a lot of these people judge you based on their own mind, not what God say, what they said. So, if it's your parents, they're going to come back and act like, I always knew they could do it. They're so resilient. I always wanted the best in them. I always knew that they could do it. And, even with parents, make them stand on business. And also, with a lot of these people, tell them it's the fact that they doubted you that you won. The fact of them doubting you. You use that energy to make sure that you would stand on top of your game, that you were getting back on your game. It was fueling you guys up. Some of you guys thrive when people don't believe in you. You thrive off of that energy. So some of these people thought that if they didn't invest in you, that you would be nothing. And little did they know is the mere fact that they thought that about you. The mere fact that they thought that because they didn't believe in you, because they didn't invest in you, that you were going to be nothing. You used all that negative thoughts, all those negative words, and you turned it into fuel, which you turned it into energy for money, for your resources, for you to come up, for you to expand, for you to grow, for you to figure out the good things about yourself and why investing in yourself is important. Because if people won't do it, then that means that you should do it. So a lot of you guys, it turns y'all on to yourselves. It turns you on to the fact that you're this great person. You're worth investing. Their sleep, they chose the wrong thing. If it's gambling time, you gambled on yourself. See? So, again, what the enemy wanted for bad, God turns it to good every single time. Every single time. And I love it. I love it. So basically, make everybody stand on that business. If they didn't believe in you, make them stand on it. Cool. It's not a time where, I can't tell people how to feel, because at one point in time when my peoples didn't, I was so broken and hurt. But guess what? You learn how to turn that in to good. You learn how to realize that people are not going to see what God has showed you for your life. People, they don't have the vision. God didn't give them the vision. You can't force what God gave you in your vision for them to see the same thing. They're not in your skin. They don't have that. A lot of them don't have that personal relationship with the Most High, or because the Most High would have told them that even if God didn't tell them everything about your business, they would have seen that you have some type of anointing over your life. You're going somewhere, regardless of what it might look like. A lot of these people done read the Bible and everything. They say they Christians. They go to church every Sunday and they act like they don't know. They didn't believe. They don't believe. They just going because of what man told them, because these are society standards so that they can fall under this umbrella as being religious, as having a relationship with God, but they don't know nothing. The proof is in the pudding. And these are the same people that judge everybody else and say that you're not meeting their standards. Hold their head up when you come around and look down on you. What them same folks gonna say when you surpass their standards? Huh? You know, what they gonna say? So, at the end of the day, make them stand on that. Everything that they said about you, everything that they felt about you. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody but yourself. This is for yourself. You did it for yourself. You surpassed their standards. Why? Because you wouldn't focus on their standards. You don't give a dang about their standards. You too focused on your own standards for yourself. That's why you surpassed them. It was unexpected to them, yeah, because, if they feel like if they would have been in your shoes, they wouldn't have been able to come from the bottom to the top by themselves. Again, a lot of these people, they got to have a team of people with them. They can't never rock alone. And just the mere fact that you're riding this thing alone, the fact that you are superseding your own standards. You didn't need people around. And some of y'all didn't need people around. That that there's seasons for people, and then there's seasons where you do it with the Most High. The Most High and you alone. So, yeah, these people are never going to see, the beauty of you when you are not where they wanted you to be and where you are now or where you're going. They could never understand that because they can only see life through their own eyes, their own perspective. They can't put themselves in other people's shoes. And that's too bad for them. But it's not your job to go around and try to meet other people's standards. What are the standards that you have for yourself, for your life? What does God have for you? The standards that God has for you. Not man, because man's standards are always going to change. Just like the fads, just like the trends. They used to call it fad back in the day, but just like the trends. They go in one minute they're in, the next minute they're out. These people's standards, 1 minute they're in, the next minute, 1 minute they're up, 1 minute they're down. And they're going to forever change as we change it and as we grow. So it's best for you not to follow man's standards and follow God's standards. You and God should be working that out. Okay? So not only did you meet their standards, you superseded their standards. You surpassed what they thought about you, where they thought you could be. And that's the beauty of it. Because they doubted you. They doubted you, guys. And that's okay. That doubt was turned into energy that you can use for your good. It might have came to you in a negative way. Those words may have hurt when they came to you. What they done to you, their actions may have hurt. And guess what? Once it came to you, it may have hurt you, touched you, but you learn how to change that, transmute the energy into good. So it may have came negative to you, but you learn how to turn it to positive charge. You got a positive charge from people doubting you. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what the Most High will do. Will always turn that negative energy that people wish to put on you and turn it into good so that it works for you in your life. All right, so these are the messages, guys. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.